I wanted to share with you what I learned from the MAPS Psychedelic Science Conference in Denver in 2023. So there's 11 takeaways that I will share with you today. One of the big reminders that I obtained from the MAPS Psychedelic Science Conference was the idea that psychedelics are not for everyone. When we promote it as a panacea, that it's going to cure everyone, everything, all at once, then it's really kind of doing a disservice to having full disclosure, to understanding that there are risks, that there are benefits, and that there are alternatives. And when we promote psychedelics or even ketamine as the only answer, that doesn't do it justice. So one of the insights is, hey, I think as patients, we need to be aware of what is really going on. Does this work for me? Could it work for me? What are the potential risks? What are the benefits? Because again, ketamine therapy and psychedelic therapy is not for everyone. It's can be challenging and it can be intense. And having the right setting, screening, sustainability is all crucial to have. One of the insights that I got about ketamine therapy and psychedelics in general is they are almost like unspecific mental amplifiers, which means that the environment, the mindset, the intention, the people providing the ketamine therapy is really crucial because that is going to amplify the experience. I'll give you one example. When I used to work in the emergency department, I would use IV ketamine for sedation. And I was doing a procedure on a patient, and during that procedure, they got really uncomfortable. I had used lidocaine, but still it was quite painful. So I asked the nurse to get me some ketamine because that's one of my favorite drugs to administer in the ER. And when we gave it to him, we made the mistake. We didn't necessarily have the proper set and the setting. And as a result, this patient experienced a journey to hell. He was scared because his mindset, even before receiving the IV ketamine in the ER setting, was not a good place to be. This is the reason why having the right proper environment, the right mindset, the right people around you prior to doing ketamine therapy is so crucial. I just got back from the MAPS Psychedelic Science Conference in Denver, Colorado, and gained so many insights. One of them was a lecture from Amanda Fielding, who you may have heard of before, and her talk was regarding consciousness and how the brain cells are almost like a desert as a metaphor, and then the blood flow is like rain. And by altering the blood flow to certain portions of the brain, we can change our consciousness. And so she's doing some functional MRI studies with researchers out in London, specifically looking at blood flow and how that can alter our consciousness. And we know that with ketamine studies that there are things going on with the default mode network, turning down the volume of where the ego may reside. And that may be responsible for how patients are getting rapid improvements for their depression, PTSD, and anxiety symptoms. There was a really interesting conversation between Michael Pollan and Bob Jesse during the Psychedelic Science Conference. And one of the things that they were talking about was this term psychedelic renaissance with a capital R. And they were wondering, maybe call it something else, that the Renaissance is something that people think about when they look backward rather than calling it ourselves. So I was thinking about that term, the Renaissance. What else could we call it? Maybe the psychedelic resurgence, maybe the psychedelic re-empowerment. So it's just really interesting how it may not necessarily be a renaissance because it has been around for many years. And although there was a contraband and the government had made it illegal, there was still psychedelics being used, in particular by the indigenous community who never really stopped using it. So maybe instead of calling it a renaissance, we could call it a resurgence or a regrowth as another way to think about what is going on in these days. I know there's a lot going on these days with online ketamine therapy where people are getting mega doses of ketamine delivered to their house, unsupervised, unmonitored, without support. And one of the insights from Dr. Raquel Bennett is that what is legal is not necessarily what is wise. And as physicians and clinicians, we need to really keep this in the back of our mind. Just because something is legal may not be the most prudent thing to do. And this is the reason why here at Reset Ketamine, all of our patients are monitored. We have their vital signs continuously checked, keeping a close eye on their heart rate, their cardiac rhythm, their oxygen level, because this is what's wise. I feel like it's the highest, the gold standard, with the most amount of integrity that I personally can administer IV ketamine therapy. One of the best things about attending this conference in Denver with Psychedelic Science was not only the lectures and presentations and the art, which was all amazing, but for me personally, it was the connections. So I don't think this conference had existed 3 years ago, mainly due to the pandemic. And then the last time that I had attended was in 2017 in Oakland, California. So it was huge, maybe 12,000, 13,000 people. It was one of the largest conferences I've ever attended. And it was beautiful because there were so many people that I hadn't seen in a long time. There were so many new connections that I made. And remember, we're all in this together, and there's only us. So be a little bit kinder to each other, be a little bit kinder to yourself, and remember that the connection is what's crucial. Just a quick reminder that you are here now. Take a deep breath in, and that you are connected to all of your ancestors that have come before you. Your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and all the way thousands of generations. And also, you are a future ancestor. 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 400, 500, a millennia from now, you're still going to remain connected to all of that tapestry and beauty of life. One of the lectures that I found interesting was by a presenter named William Leonard Pickard. And he actually spent 20 years in federal prison for manufacturing and distributing LSD. And in 2020, he was released. He was sentenced to 2 lifetime prison sentences, but fortunately, he was able to be released. And after spending 20 years in jail, he describes his experience of coming back to reality. And he saw all these cars, he saw cell phones, he saw people in these little boxes moving around rapidly. And the greatest insight that he had once he came back was what is most important are the people. It's about those relationships. It's about our connections. The cars, the money, the buildings, the fame, etc. Like, that doesn't really matter. What really matters and what is sacred, in my opinion, is our relationships, is the people. It's you. You know, I have a good friend of mine who is an orthopedic surgeon, and he specializes in the foot and ankle. And one of the things that he told me is that there's a challenge of doing randomized double-blinded controlled trials with surgical procedures. And he learned that the surgeon is the technique. And I'll repeat that again. The surgeon is the technique. Meaning it's really hard to replicate sometimes what that surgeon is doing. Because even though there's 2 surgeons who are doing exactly the same thing, there's going to be slight differences. There's going to be slight modifications that each surgeon makes. Now, how this relates to ketamine therapy is every physician and clinician is going to do it a little bit differently. And as you know already, that's going to impact the set and the setting of the experience. And later that night, I met someone from Italy who was attending the same conference, and she was an artist. And I was telling her about this concept, and she said to me something really powerful that I want to share with you as well. She said to me, it doesn't matter what you do, it matters who you are. So that was just mind-blowing, that it's not necessarily what the person is doing, but it's who you are. What is their presence? How are they showing up? And that is a game changer. It's a huge thing. I know there's some divisions between this person should be doing it or that person should be doing it. But when it was distilled down to this concept, it doesn't matter what you do, it matters who you are. That really just struck me in my heart. It was really profound and enlightening in a way. One of the powerful insights that I had is that it's not just ketamine that's beneficial and working in IV ketamine therapy. It's actually the relationship, the context, the environment, the intention. The ketamine is simply a catalyst, in my opinion, for promoting these things, but we really heal in relationships, in dialogue, and connection with each other. Thanks so much and staying till the very end. I know that was a lot of information. So let me just recap it for you. Number 1, psychedelics are not for everyone. Number 2, psychedelic medicines, including ketamine, are unspecific mental amplifiers. Number 3, the change in blood flow may actually be what is related to the change in consciousness. And number 4, instead of calling it the psychedelic renaissance, maybe we can call it the psychedelic resurgence. Number 5, what is legal may not be what is wise. Number 6, connections are what is most crucial. 7, you are connected to your ancestors. 8, relationships are the most important thing that we have. Number 9, the surgeon is the technique. Number 10, it doesn't matter what you do, it matters who you are. And finally, number 11, it takes more than just ketamine for patients to get better. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.